Welcome to Pivot Parenting, where we help parents of teens overcome regret and disappointment to find peace and connection in every situation. I'm Heather Frazier, your parenting expert. Journey with me to discover effective parenting tips, improve family relationships, and build a brighter future for your kids. Buckle up, things are about to get better. Welcome, my friend, to Pivot Parenting. We are in belief number 3 of 6. Now, these are standalone, but they can also build on one another. So if you haven't caught the other 2, go back and listen to them, but you can stay here for now. Today is a really important one, and it's one that I see play out all the time. Did you know that I actually coach on marriage quite a bit, because marriage and parenting struggles are often the same struggle. What we do in one relationship, we tend to do all over the place. And what might feel like a parenting difficulty is actually a marriage difficulty playing out in your parenting. And one of the things that I've been working with a bunch of couples right now is wanting to feel good, wanting to feel like you're enough, wanting to feel as though life is going to be okay. And what I've noticed is very human behavior, and I've noticed this in myself, with my clients, with my peers, and in the world at large, is that we want to control the situation in order to feel okay. Let me give you an example of how this can play out. I need my spouse to have my back. So I am going to lecture them, guilt them, punish them if they don't agree with me in parenting. That's one way that it can show up. I am going to control my teen. I'm going to micromanage their homework. I am going to stalk their location on their phone. I'm going to blow their phone up, texting them if they're 5 minutes late, or if I found out they lied to me. I am going to control them so hard that the weed that I found is not going to be a problem in their life. I'm going to control their coaches, their teachers, their friends. I'm going to coerce them into playing along in how I think that they should be filling the roles in my child's life so that my child is happy. Now, this just happened to me the other day. My child came home really upset from school, and she had gone to a specific class, and she came home, she was crying. She was saying that they act like they care, but they don't care. And Mama Bear came out, and I wanted to call the school. I wanted to strangle some people because I wanted to control the situation so that my baby girl felt happy and safe. Ultimately, every human on earth wants to feel happy and safe, like everything is going to be okay. And that can look different for different humans. And we might think that we get there different from one another. But that is what we all want. And if you've heard me talk about the nervous system, we try to grasp at control from different aspects of our nervous system. So we have fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Fight is exactly what you'd think. It's Mama Bear. Flight can be literally running. It can also be running from fire to fire, trying to keep everyone happy, thinking that we need to fix everything. I like to think of flight as fix-it energy. We have freeze, which is shutting down, hiding. And then fawn, which is people-pleasing, keeping everyone happy. It's a sense of self-abandonment. I'm going to let go of what I want and play along so that I can be safe. And we humans tend to do this to each other. Usually the dynamic that I coach on in marriage is we have a fight flight person and then a freeze fawn person. So we have an aggressor and a runner or an avoider. So a really assertive, dominant personality, and then a person who shuts down is another way of putting this. And I can see this in parenting dynamics too. The parents or the child will be the aggressor, and then the other person will just kind of shut down or withdraw or hide or say whatever they need to say to quell the situation immediately, and then they go kind of do what they actually want or need to do. And when you understand the nervous system and human nature, the math adds up, and it makes perfect sense why we all do this. But we get mad at our children or at our spouse for doing it the wrong way, which is anything but our way. And it's hard, and I want to be gentle with you because you and I and all the humans, we have this way of looking around and we compare ourselves to media, to neighbors, to family, to see if we're good enough, to see if we're safe, to see if we're loved, to make sure that we're successful. And I've even seen the reverse of this. Some of my clients have said, well, I didn't want to post about my one child's accomplishment. They did this awesome thing. Their team won, but I didn't want to make my niece or nephew feel bad, or I didn't want to make my other kid feel bad who isn't doing as well. That's buying into the narrative of a hierarchy or comparison. But we compare all the time to see if we're worthy of things that we want, like knowing we're a good parent. And if we know we're a good parent, then we know that it's going to be okay. And we know that there's safety and abundance and goodness in our future. Again, it all boils down to we want to know that it's going to be okay, that we're enough, that our child is enough, that the future is going to be okay, that it's going to be good. How this can look in real time, another way is when we see our sisters post of their kids' achievements. And if we feel bad that our kid isn't doing something remarkable, or we think our kid is doing something more remarkable than their kid, that is the paradigm that I'm talking about. We want to control the narrative. And when we're trying to control how people see us or how people interact with us, we create distance. Because subconsciously, we can feel when somebody needs something from us. Like when your mom calls and guilts you into coming home for the holiday or to the family reunion, even though you've told her 3 times you have a really busy summer, you're not sure it's going to happen, and she just keeps saying, well, your dad's going to feel really bad if you don't come, and we really need you there. We know she's being manipulative. It doesn't feel good. But what she wants is she wants her husband to be happy. She wants to be happy. She wants you and your family to be happy. And she thinks that all that happiness can be met by you coming to the family reunion. Is it starting to feel familiar yet? Because we're on the giving and receiving side of this dynamic all the time. It can look like us needing praise or somebody trying to extract praise from us. One of my clients, bless her, she came to me in tears. Her teen had stopped talking to her pretty much. Just grunts is about all that she got from him. Constant pushback shut her out. And she said, I just don't understand. I remind him about everything. I'm trying to help. But it feels like the harder I try, the worse it gets. So we started walking through her days and how she was interacting with him, the homework checks, the room inspections, the constant did you and don't forget. And as we were walking through all of this, she paused. It had finally clicked and she whispered, I wouldn't want to be around me either. And I'm the only person that I can control. And I was so proud of her for that vulnerable clarity. Because my friend, when we try to control our teens, we're doing the exact opposite of what we want. We create the resistance and the distance that we're trying to fix. Hi there. I just want to pause and let you know if you are struggling to make sense of your teen's behaviors, emotions are running wild, and you're looking to turn things around to have the family you dreamed of while rocking them to sleep, I would love to talk to you. I want to give you a special, powerful gift. 30 minutes with me, my friend. You'll walk away with more confidence, clarity, and understanding of what the issue is and your next best step in resolving any situation you bring to me. It's completely free. I love families and want to help yours be wildly happy and successful. Book this call by visiting my website, heatherfraser.com. Remember, Fraser is spelled with a Z-I in the middle. And don't worry, the link is also in the show notes. I look forward to meeting and helping you. My friend, trying to manage or control our teenagers' behavior or the situation at hand, it is an illusion. We cannot control other humans. We can invite, we can coerce, we can do all the things, but ultimately agency was given to all of us. And true influence, true power, it doesn't come from managing someone. It actually comes from loving them, inviting them, educating them, and connecting with them. And connection requires you to loosen your grip on how somebody else needs to be. Here's the difference. Managing says, I need to make sure you do this. Connecting says, I don't have a dog in the race, but I'm here. I trust you. If you want help, I got you. There's this common misconception that good parents maintain control. And we support this incorrect paradigm by saying, wow, what did you do to make your kids turn out so good? Or when somebody doesn't turn out good in life, we think, what did their mother do to them? Have you ever heard that phrase? What did their parents do to them? What did their mom do to them? Both of these buy into the paradigm that is false, that parents decide the outcome of their children. And if we can loosen up and recognize that our kids are humans, and just like we didn't want our parents making all of our decisions for us, we can let go and trust that maybe our kid will go off the rails, but probably not. Here's what the research shows and what lived experience confirms. When teens feel controlled, they don't become safer or more responsible. They get sneakier, they get more rebellious, they get more secretive. They are in fact less honest, or they completely yield all of their authority to outside sources like you, or like whomever's running for president, or whatever influencer that they like says. And they have learned to trust outside sources more than themselves, and they are pawns. We don't want our kids to be pawns, even if we think that we are the game master and we'll win the game for them. We actually do want our children to think for themselves, and that means that they will disagree with us and do things differently than what we would like. But ultimately, when we have connection instead of control, that is what keeps them as close as they would like to be. So that client that I mentioned, she stopped policing her child and nagging them and started listening and began being humble enough to hear what they were actually trying to tell her. And within weeks, her son began sharing things again, small stuff at first, then bigger things. But he was testing the waters because our teenagers, they're not stupid. They don't believe that change has been made. Just like you and I are really skeptical if somebody all of a sudden changes their tune. So your kids are going to not trust that this new, more connecting you is the real deal because they have years of evidence that you'll jump in and try to control. So they'll dip the toe in the water first and try on little things. See if you react. See if you try to meddle. And it's not because they don't love you. It's because they want to feel safe. And the more that you can confirm that you are no longer trying to manage their life for them, the more they will open up. And it's not because this mom forced him to, but because he finally felt safe. That he wasn't going to get pounced on if he said something wrong or corrected. The exhaustion of being the homework police, the room inspector, the manners corrector, the phone monitor, all of that is unnecessary when we can love and trust. I learned a long time ago in the 7 Habits of Stephen R. Covey that human relationships are like bank accounts. And I really like this metaphor that we need to make constant deposits because sometimes we need to make withdrawals. And what that means is a deposit is a compliment, a praise, telling your child that you trust them, that they can do it, not micromanaging them, but showing trust and thinking that they're competent. A withdrawal would be correction. And we need to essentially balance it so it's 10 deposits to 1 withdrawal. 10 to 1 is kind of the ratio that we're aiming for. We want to build our kids up. We want to love them. We want to support them. So that when we're like, hey, you could have said that nicer, or let's not procrastinate next time, I'm here if you need help, that it doesn't feel like we are constantly critical of our child. And this can be a hard habit to create, but this is how we reverse the habit of needing to control, because our kids will pull away from that. Everybody pulls away from that. You and I don't like it, but we feel the need to do it sometimes to our children or to our spouse. It always backfires on us. And here's what I've noticed in almost every family I've worked with. There's usually a pattern, a cycle of control and resistance that keeps repeating. And the parent can't see it because they're inside of it. And so I hope that this episode has helped you gain awareness. And if you see yourself doing these things, please have so much compassion and grace for yourself. It means you have a healthy, functional human brain. And we just need to train our brain to do better than default settings. And you are fully capable of this. We can all do this, but it begins with awareness and seeing ourselves where we're at, how we've been getting it wrong just due to our hardwiring. You're not a bad person. And then how we can do it better. And of course, if you need help doing it better, I am always here to support you. If you like this episode, pass it on to somebody that you think might appreciate it. The link to book a free call is in the show notes or at heatherfraser.com. I hope you have a blessed week, and we will go over belief number 4 next week.
Heather is the one, an expert in the field. She knows her parenting stuff, including how confusing it can be. You've tried it all, and it's a lost cause. Crying in the closet 'cause you failed at being a mom. But think again, there's peace around the corner and there's hope in your hands. Your kid just wants your love and you want it.